In June 1966, a shocking crime took place in Shizuoka Prefecture, Japan. 4 members of a family were found murdered in their home, and the house was set on fire. Hakamada Iwao, a former professional boxer who worked at the family's miso factory, was arrested by police as a suspect. During his detention, Hakamada was subjected to 20 days of intense interrogation without a lawyer present. Under extreme pressure, he eventually signed a confession. Later, he retracted this statement, claiming it had been coerced. Despite his retraction, the confession became the cornerstone of the prosecution's case. In 1968, after a trial that relied heavily on the disputed confession and on clothing allegedly stained with the victim's blood, Hakamada was convicted of murder and arson. The court sentenced him to death. 2 of the 3 judges on the panel voted for the death penalty. The 3rd expressed serious doubts about Hakamada's guilt, but was overruled. Hakamada was sent to death row, where he would remain for the next 45 years. During this time, he lived in solitary confinement, facing the daily uncertainty of possible execution. His mental and physical health deteriorated over the decades. Meanwhile, his sister Hideko began a relentless campaign to prove his innocence, drawing attention to inconsistencies in the evidence and the use of a forced confession. In 2007, new DNA testing became available. Defense attorneys requested tests on the clothing presented as evidence during the trial. In 2014, the Shizuoka District Court granted Hakamada a retrial after DNA results indicated the blood on the clothing did not match his. The court also raised serious doubts about the reliability of the prosecution's evidence and the fairness of the original trial. Hakamada was released from prison after 45 years on death row, pending the outcome of the retrial. Despite his release, prosecutors appealed the decision to grant a retrial, prolonging Hakamada's legal limbo for another decade. During this period, his case became a symbol of the dangers of forced confessions and the death penalty in Japan, attracting international attention and calls for reform. In September 2024, after years of legal battles, the court acquitted Hakamada Iwao, citing fabricated evidence and a coerced confession as grounds for overturning his conviction. At 88 years old, Hakamada was finally declared innocent and became the world's longest-serving death row inmate to be exonerated. His case remains a landmark in Japanese legal history, highlighting the risks of wrongful convictions and the urgent need for safeguards in the justice system. The International Commission Against the Death Penalty, ICDP, has recognized the Shizuoka District Court's decision to award Iwao Hakamada 217 million yen, approximately 1.34 million euros, or $1.4 million, in compensation for the more than 45 years he spent under a death sentence. Hakamada, who was initially convicted of a 1966 quadruple murder, became the world's longest-serving death row inmate before his exoneration in September 2024. His conviction was based largely on a confession obtained after 20 days of intense police interrogation, which he later retracted, and evidence that was later determined to have been fabricated. Hakamada was first acquitted by the Shizuoka District Court in March 2014, but prosecutors appealed that ruling. After years of legal proceedings and a retrial, the court again acquitted him in 2024, making his case the 5th in post-war Japan, where a death row inmate has been acquitted following a retrial. The compensation equivalent to about 12,500 yen, or $83 for each day of his incarceration, is the largest ever awarded in Japan for a wrongful conviction. Despite the historic payout, Hakamada's legal team emphasized that no amount of money can truly compensate for the decades he spent in prison under the constant threat of execution, which severely impacted his mental health.